Okay.
All right, all right. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Caravan of Dreams of Redo. Y'all know what it is. It's 8 something. Come on in. Come on in. Be sure and like and share, like and share. Tell somebody to tell somebody that the Caravan of Dreams is on. All right.
Rod, what's going on with you, man? I see you.
All right, all right. Hey, y'all. Hey, come on in. Come on in. Hey,
Tasha
Tasha.
Ginyard, I see you.
Yeah. All right. All right, all right. Hey, y'all. Hey, come on in. Come on in. It's the Caravan of Dreams to Redo. Y'all know it is 8 something. Y'all know how we do it. Be sure and like and share, like and share. Tell somebody to tell somebody that the Caravan of Dreams is on. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We appreciate it. On this Monday evening, 8 something. Y'all know what it is. All right, so you ready to go ahead and get started? Husband? Hmm?
What?
I say you ready to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, we live. We don't have no
Oh
choice.
gosh. Hey y'all. All right. So listen. So first of all, let's talk about this. So recently there was a someone robbed a, I think it was a Dollar General, and took, I mean, maybe some water, some cups, some chips or something like that. Not much, not much, okay? At the end of the day, they, went out the store. The One of the clerks, okay, somebody that stocks, not a manager, but one of the clerks, stocking the shelves or whatever. They saw, this person steal, so they ran out the store, yelling like, hey, get back here with our stuff, and the person kept on going, kept on walking like they didn't hear him, whatever. So the clerk got in her car and ran the person over, to retrieve the things, went back into the store. And yeah, so,
Did she kill him?
well, the person did survive, but they are in, critical condition in the hospital. But here's my thing. Okay, before I say that though, so then there was another situation, where the security guard saw somebody, that had stole something out of a CVS, and as they're walking out, well, the security guard confronted the person or whatever, and it was like, hey, what you got, and whoever, they didn't have anything, not much, I think it was some water or something they were trying to, they was thirsty, right? And so the security guard was fussing, talking crazy to the person, followed them out the store and jumped on them, right? Tackled them down. And I guess, now from what we can see on the video, the person is, like, man, why, like pretty much like, why are you doing that? Well, the security guard, I guess, that didn't think that was enough, pulled the gun off of their holster and shot the person like 3 times, killed them, but no charges. Now, I will say that, we can't say, oh, it was, it was a racist thing, whatever, because the security guard and the person that, you know, did the crime, they both were African American. So it wasn't that. But my thing is this. as an employee of a store, how far do you need to go? I mean, it's not your stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't own it. Um, okay, maybe you might, maybe you have some stock. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you do, but you're not a manager. You don't own the stuff. How far you need to go to get some stuff back, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not even talking about anything major. What is that your responsibility? Now, as a security guard, I can see he tried this, hey, we need, put the stuff down, whatever. But go as far as to shoot and kill the guy, that's you're doing too much, sir.
I'm gonna go back to my little theory that I always talk about: two bad decisions. You take two bad decisions.
Hmm.
It only take one of those decisions to be removed in order for that thing to never even happen.
Well, yeah, yeah, I get that.
And
I get that.
that's why you teach your kids, what I'm saying, not to go over into that whole stealing situation. You know, best case scenario, you might get caught and get a ticket. Might go to jail or something like that. Worst case scenario, you meet up with a rogue security guard
Indeed.
and he try to take you out. However,
Yeah.
if you'd have bought it, dang, my headphones down.
Well, the
If
person didn't buy it because they didn't have the money.
Okay, well, you're
So,
gonna have to find the money, or you're gonna have to go ask somebody, sit outside and ask some people. I see that all the time. Can I get a little change? Ask for some change. Stealing is against the law.
I mean, indeed, indeed,
And I'm not saying it
indeed.
warrant death or nothing like that, but like when you move over into that whole breaking rules thing, well,
Mhm.
somebody might break a bigger rule than you.
Well, this is true. Now, see, my thing with this is okay. So, yes, you stole something you shouldn't have, right? But you know what? Maybe the person just really, I feel like you had to be in some type of need, dire need, that you felt like, you know what, I'm gonna go here and get some water. I'm thirsty,
And that's why
I'm hungry, whatever the case may be.
you're not a security guard.
Huh?
That's why you're not a security guard.
Because what?
Because you allowed to let them go. You feel like, oh,
I mean,
you need another
no,
drink.
listen, no,
Go
no,
ahead and go. I ain't gonna send
no.
nobody.
You know what I'm probably gonna do?
Just
I'm
go
probably
into town.
gonna give them the money to buy it, the drink. But outside of that, even with that, I'm gonna be like, hey, listen,
Rod,
go put it back,
Rod said, and what I mean, they ain't gonna put it back. They're probably gonna try to run or whatever.
and
So
then let them go. Goodbye.
yeah. Rod
I'm gonna
said,
take
being
a
a
picture.
security guard, he is a security guard.
Okay.
He said, you're supposed to observe and report. He said, anything else is extra.
And yes, because you don't went too far, sir. You done pulled your gun out over a $10 worth of stuff. Give me a
I
break.
mean, and that's, yeah. Vanessa say,
Oh
Lord
my
help us.
God.
He say, Lord help us. She say,
It's too much. You're doing too much, sir. You did too much. And then even the clerk, the stocking clerk that decided to run out, jump in the car, follow this person and run over them so she can get the stuff. And then she went back. Well, she went to jail. She
you
went to
not
jail.
you're not supposed to, and I'm not saying that they deserve to be ran over.
No, the person, the clerk.
I know,
Hmm.
I know, but still,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying that the person don't deserve to be ran over,
Right.
don't deserve to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Mm-hmm.
you cross over, you're not supposed to steal either. You know what I'm saying? Like once you cross over that,
Right.
the consequences, man. Matter of fact, let's go to your Bible. Let's go to your Bible that you read every Sunday. What does it say? What does it say the consequences of sin are?
Well, I mean,
That's
the
what it
wages
could
of
be.
sin.
The
Yeah.
wages of sin is
Uh-huh.
what? Is what?
It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means God's grace. I mean, we get grace when we decide to steal or whatever the case, and we get away with it. We don't die.
Mm-hmm.
It's God's grace.
Okay. So what? The grace ran out.
He's praying out for them. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Tell me the Bible. We coming out. We
But
coming out your
okay,
Bible.
but no, but yeah, but listen now. At the end of the day, let the man go to jail, and so he get 3 hots in a car. Don't do that.
I'm not going. I ain't going. I don't got time to be killing folks behind no bag of
No,
chips, no
not
water,
behind no
nothing like
chips
that.
and water. Give me a break. No, at the end of the day, a man, what say? Don't work, don't eat, or whatever. But guess what?
Stealing that ain't working.
Hey, he's working somehow. He put in the work. I think it takes some. First of all, it takes a lot of guts to go and walk in somewhere and just decide you're gonna pick up something and walk out
No,
with it.
no, let's not justify thievery. Let's not just let's not justify thievery.
I mean, I'm not okay. What I'm saying is that I don't think, and I'm sure that nobody thinks that people will go to those lengths for a store and that first of all it doesn't belong to you. You probably get paid pennies or whatever. I'm not even. I get it. Do your job, but how far do you go? Just like Rod said, as a security guard,
You are
he's
supposed
saying,
to
"Listen,
observe and report.
observe and report. Just write it down. Take a picture
I get it. I
and
get
let
it.
them people
I
live."
get it. Dean Manuscript, what's going on? What's going on, Rip? Sherry Smith, what's going on? David Johnson, what's going on? We're talking about thieves.
I mean and the people who try to um recover those things that do too much.
I mean, you see it all the time, though. You see it all the
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
And I, when you cross over, you know what I'm saying? When you cross over into breaking rules like that, you
Hmm.
just don't know how
Hmm.
far the other person's going to go.
Right.
And
Hmm.
when two people, I'm gonna always refer to this, like I tell my kids, it takes two bad decisions to make a real messed up situation.
Right. 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 Right.
If they wasn't stealing, I know you saying if he wouldn't have she wouldn't have ran over him, or if he wouldn't have shot him 3 times. If he wasn't stealing, then the dude wouldn't have to do what he did.
Well, I just see it like this. What is your job? What is the manual say? The employee manual. What does it say about what your job description is? Does it say get back whatever they stole by any means necessary?
Amen.
Or does it say just let somebody know that hey, they ran out of here? I mean, come on. Y'all doing too much, people.
I get it. I get it. Something, and I do. I'm not. Nah, I'm not justifying. I'm not saying it's justified or nothing like that. I'm not saying they deserve it or nothing like that. What I'm saying is you cannot account for, what the other side is doing. You can't account for what the I'm gonna say law enforcement or what's the security guard or
Right,
the
right.
employees. You can't account for what their reaction is going to be
Indeed.
once you cross over.
Right. I got it. I got it. I got it. Cause you never know what somebody else is, thinking or what they feel like they supposed to do or whatever the case may be. I get it. But for those of you out there, security personnel, Dollar General store employees, Dollar Tree employees, Walmart employees, Target employee, whatever. Just, report it to the management. Take a picture of them. Hey, that person ran out here, and guess what? I have their picture. They will catch them. They'll get them at some point. You know what I'm saying? Might not be that day, but they'll get them because they're going to come back to the store. So I'm just saying, don't be doing too much. That's all.
You're right. Don't be doing too much.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is to the people that feel like they need to go and steal something,
Hmm.
you're doing too much too.
I mean, and you are for sure, for sure.
You're doing too
So
much too. You're gonna have to figure out another way, man. You're gonna have to figure out a way to get that bread.
yeah.
Because if you don't, somebody might run over you or shoot you 3 times.
Oh my God.
I ain't saying it's justified, but we
Yeah.
can't bring you back
I
once.
do. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I believe that people feel like, man, it's just water. Man, it's just a bag of chips.
Man, Derek Paramore, what's going on? Sharwick Reed, what's going on? Up here we go. Roger got us a novel here. He said, I chased a person down over some clothing around the building before.
Mm.
I said, why did I do that? He said, my feelings was hurt that he even got away with it. The chase ended in the alley, but the chances of something bad happening to either of us was greater than in the beginning. And that's the thing. Once you take it, extra like that, and that's
Right.
you can fool around and get fired like that because that is outside the handbook, so you can get fired or
Right.
reprimanded or
And that's
whatever
what
the
I'm
case.
saying. Because, what if it would have turned different? What if you would lose your life behind a $10, grocery list?
That's too
So
bad. Two bad decisions make a bad
yeah,
situation.
even the security guard that pulled his gun out and shot the person. What if the guy would have overpowered him, took the gun away, and shot him?
To take two bad
I
decisions.
get it. I get it. But I'm just saying, I think if you are that employee and you feel like you need to do that, even if you are somebody that sit at a desk, you know what I'm saying? You got a desk job and you see the customer service reps doing whatever dirt. Hey, take a picture of it. Tell somebody. You ain't got to be trying to, do a whole bunch of other extraness.
Man. It's
Them people don't care about you.
once you cross over into breaking rules like that, you at the mercy of whoever trying to punish you.
Indeed. Indeed.
Whether it's the security guard, the stalker, the DA,
Mm.
you at the mercy of whoever it is that's trying to punish
I
you.
mean, you are.
Because you could
You
run
are.
up in now. Oh, girl ain't down there no more, right? The DA for Tarrant County, but she used to get them hefty sentences or whatever stuff like that. So it's like you at the mercy of
Yeah.
whoever feel like they need to punish you.
Right.
You at the mercy of that.
Right.
So
Right.
let's not even jump into that arena. You know, man. I don't. And I was another. I don't want to. I don't want to seem like I don't have any feelings toward the people who may not have resources, but you got to get some resources. You have to get some resources. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to go to the shelter. It's a process you can go through there and live in the shelter. End up getting jobs or references to situations to where you can pick up stuff.
Right.
But to try to get it still, that's the quick way. That's trying to do
Yeah.
it the quick way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And shoot,
I agree.
you subject to whoever's trying to punish you.
I agree. I agree.
Tracy Wallace, what's going on? Good evening. Good evening.
So, and I'm gonna say this about that is
All I got to say is this about that.
is that a song?
That's a blues song.
Wow, I don't know it then. So, oftentimes how you see the people on the corner or in the median or whatever the case may be, and they're asking, help me out at the store, whatever, wherever they are. Now, I am a person. I do believe on my forehead it said, "Hey, need something? Ask me." I do believe that because I get that very often. Um, but I feel like that is our job as a good Samaritans. You know, I feel like we should be a giver, right? And sometimes that's all they have, and then they may have feel like they've asked everybody, they've borrowed all the money and whatever they could, and it's like, what, this is what I'm gonna do. And I hate that people feel like that is the answer, or whatever. But I'm just gonna say to everyone, be a good Samaritan, be a good American, and help people. Help them when they are on the corner and or at the store in the median. Go ahead and pull out a couple of dollars, a dollar, a couple quarters, whatever, and let's help people so that these things won't happen.
Man, it depends on my mood. It can depend on my pockets too. Because if I ain't got the money, I just don't have it.
I mean, but if you don't, you don't.
There you go.
Like, you
But
can't
even
help
if I
that.
have it, I might not be in the mood to give this
You gotta
person
be in the
no
mood.
money. Yes, I got to be in the mood. I have to be in a giving mood, and I'm not
Mm.
always in a giving mood.
See, I'm always the, if of course, if I have it, if I do, especially if I have some change, and I usually try to keep my change, in the middle of,
But the
my
thing for
thing.
me is, I got kids, I got nephews and nieces and stuff like that, and I know their situation. You know, they might have been working, or they might have just ran short on some money. Some of these people out here infringe upon the fact that you're gonna give them money.
Hmm.
Some of these people are career. You know what I'm saying? The same
Right,
people
indeed,
you see
indeed,
out
indeed.
there on the
See
corner
the same
before you
people
get on the
all the
freeway.
time. Yeah.
Those are people that are infringe upon. Now, if you're just trying to get by, like for me, you got to have some kind of hustle about yourself. And if I see you every day, you infringing upon, my rights or my of asking me
You
for
don't
some
you
money.
don't think
Whatever
that's
it
a
is.
hustle?
It is a hustle.
Okay.
It is a hustle, but
Hmm.
that ain't the kind of hustle. I don't support that hustle. I get to have a choice
Right.
as to what I support.
Right. Right. Right.
I don't support that hustle.
But you know what? I feel like this. Uh, what is it? Be entertaining angels unaware. You never know who the person is that you were just supposed to bless them. You know what I'm saying, with that 50 cent or that dollar or whatever.
Rod
And
said that's
so
why.
I just feel like, hey,
Rod said that's why he don't ask for money. Vanessa Christie say, I mean, Vanessa, she say you got a generous heart. Patrick say he like me.
uh,
So he probably got to be in the mood. Hey man, you got to be. Hey, Vanessa like me. Hey, you have to be led, man. Look here, you have to be led. Patrick said, I'm not giving them Nathaniel.
Oh
I'm
my
Nathan.
gosh. OMG.
Say pay your tithes. And then sometimes that could be a part of your tithes. It could. But once again, that ain't a hustle that I'm trying to support. I get to have a choice as to
Oh
what
yeah, yeah.
hustle
Everybody has a
I get to
choice. We
support.
do. We
And if
do.
I see you out there all the time. See, my thing about hustling with that, I feel like in a hustle, you don't hustle to stay in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
If you hustle, you're trying to stack, you're trying to use this 5 to make it 10, use this 10 to make it
Right.
20.
Right.
But if you're just trying to make it through the day,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a hustle.
Mm.
That
Mm.
ain't that ain't a hustle.
Right.
A hustler is gonna stack it, flip it, stack it, flip it, stack it. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And if you coming out here every day asking, that ain't flipping and
That ain't
stacking.
doing it.
That ain't flipping and stacking. You're trying to make it to the next day.
Yeah.
And I can't put myself in that situation or nothing like that.
Right.
I won't try to
Right.
put myself in that situation.
Right.
But I'm gonna always be looking for a way to build or to grow. If I don't have a house, that's gonna be a goal for me to have a house or a place to stay.
Right.
If I don't have transportation, that's gonna be a goal for me to have.
Right.
And you have to speak those things. You have to work towards.
Right.
And
Right.
I
Right.
tell that to a homeless person, hey, man, you got to speak. If you trying to ground level, you don't have no car, no house, nothing. Okay, pick something,
Okay.
and you need to put your mind towards this right here.
So do you ever talk to them?
Hell no, I ain't talking to them.
What?
For what? But if they talk to me, if we were to get in a conversation, the
Right.
same way I would talk to any of my friends or anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
you got to pick that situation. You got to speak your way into that situation, and you have to act towards that situation, whatever that might
Mm-hmm.
be. And you got to
Mm-hmm.
do it in steps. You might not get it all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a few lottery winners out here.
Right.
So you got to just put it down in the steps. If you don't have no car, if you don't have a house, car, nothing like that, okay, we're gonna have to get a hotel or a motel first. We got to figure out how to get this situation.
Right.
You got to figure out how to pay it off for the month.
Yeah.
To get that monthly money. Whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
And I don't know if asking people for money every day on the corner is gonna get you, that right there.
Well, and all of them don't be on the corner every month or whatever, every day or whatever the case may be.
Man, some of these people been out here,
I mean, we
man.
know there are some. We know there are some. There are regulars, and we almost like need to know their name, right? But
I tell
everybody's
them.
not.
I,
Everybody's not in that situation. You know what? I have compassion for these people because you know I've had family that's been in that situation, and I just feel like I would like to think that if my family member was out there, somewhere, be it somewhere in another state or whatever the case may be, that somebody would be willing to help them.
Chris, you are so giving to where why would your family member be out there somewhere when they can come to you?
Well, everybody don't tell you what they're going through.
Now that's their fault. Because like you just said, you have a giving. All they got to do is express their situation to you, somebody who is kin or knows or anything towards you. All they have to do is express their situation, right? And you're gonna help them, right?
Now let's put a pin right there. So, before the yeah, but we hold up. Now my all my family is good. All of my family is good. I'm just saying
If
that
your family was out
yes,
there,
if that was the situation, I would hope that somebody would help them.
a
That's
lot of
all.
times, some people burn bridges.
Indeed.
Some
That's
people,
true. That's true.
jump out. If you're gonna move, I mean, shoot, you got to be solid. If you're gonna move away, from all your resources, you're gonna have to
Hmm.
be solid. You're gonna have to figure something out,
Yeah.
or you're gonna need to go back home. That's why they probably go back home.
Yeah.
Um, Xavier say I always have a goal, and that's what I'm saying. You got to have a goal, and you just got to start, small. You got to get over your own self and start out small. Shoot, if you need a place to stay, try to figure out how you can have your place to stay. How you can continuously pay for this place to stay.
Listen, I was looking at a story where a young lady, soon as she turned 18, her birthday, 18th birthday, and it was like, hey, happy birthday. She woke up that morning. Her family was like, pack all your stuff. We are going to take you to a shelter. And for her 18th birthday, that is what they did. She got put out of the house because they felt like at 18, now that's it. You are grown. You should be able to take care of yourself. And
I
hey,
mean, that's old school. It used to be like that.
I mean, but don't go drop your child off at the shelter or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
a
come
hard lesson. I
on.
wouldn't do it, but that's a hard lesson.
I mean, it is, but in that type of situation, no, she don't have no goal because guess what? She thought she was good till I just turned
Did she think
18.
she was
Let me.
good? What happened up until that point?
Well,
Like, was
okay.
she
So
acting?
the
Was she 18 acting 20? You know what I'm saying?
no, but she was adopted. So her adopted parents felt like, all right,
Oh, let me
honey,
ask. Okay,
time to go.
say man, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But
I'm just saying, you everybody's not ready like that,
right,
you
but
know.
they did their job. Like they did more than me. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't trying to pick up no adopted kid. If they kept that baby from 8 to 18,
Right.
that's 10 years.
Yeah.
That's 10 years more than I done went in
Right.
and picked up or adopted kid.
Right. Right. Right.
I ain't even. I'm not even here to judge their situation.
Well, no, but you know what? So the man was asking her. Now, did
Hold
you
up, before we
know ahead
drift
of
all the
time?
way
Uh
off,
oh,
let
I'm
me
sorry.
read this comment
Woo-hoo.
right here.
Go ahead.
Tracy Wallace says, I used to give people money that stood out on the corners with signs, but then I felt God speaking to me about sowing into good and bad ground. So now in morning prayers, I always ask God to allow me to only help and bless people that is in His will.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can bless people and it is not in God's will, and it prolongs what God needs to do to heal or deliver them.
Ah. Okay.
I mean, that's an interesting perspective
Yes,
right
very
there.
much
That's an
so.
interesting perspective. Because if
Very
you
much
have
so.
somebody, especially if you're talking about drugs or alcohol or something like that,
Right.
and they out there on the corner
Yeah.
begging,
Yeah.
then that's what you're gonna be feeding into
Right.
because they need to go and get some help first.
Right. 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 Right.
And all you're doing is just feeding into their daily habit as far as them going to get their
Right.
fix for the day.
Right. 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 I do kind of listen to my intuition, my inner voice. I don't just give to everybody. Um, and then when I see the repeat offenders, it's like, okay.
Mm.
But
Keith Ferguson, what's
um
going on? Go ahead.
so what I was saying on that, the man was asking her, he was like, did you know that was what your family was going to do? Did they tell you ahead of time, like, when you turn 18, that's it, right? That's all the time you got here. Then she said, no, we never talked about it. I thought everything was good. We were happy. And so to me, that is a situation, where the young lady was just put on the spot, and they didn't, and she's not even in the same town. They drove her to another town. So in other words, we're not going to leave you here with us in the same city. You're going to be way hundreds of miles away, so you can't just come back. I think that's a little
She got some contacts or something. She had no telephone, no cell
you know
phone,
what
nothing like that.
and so the man asked, he was like, are you able to call your family? She said, no, I don't have their number.
For channel friends, nothing like that. So they could call.
I mean, i don't I don't know.
I mean, like, did they keep her in the house? Like, she didn't have no contacts, no people that she knew, nothing like that.
I
It's
mean,
just
she
so much.
probably have a cell phone, you know what I'm saying?
It's. I don't know. It's all. It's a lot to digest with that.
It is.
It's a lot to
It is.
digest with
It
that,
is.
and
But I just said that to say that, sometimes, you never know what people's situation is. That's all I'm
it's
saying.
a lot to
That's
that
all I'm saying.
situation.
Yeah.
And like I said, unless I adopted some kids,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then I can't really speak to that situation. Because if they kept it to 18,
Yeah.
some people take them back before 18.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
people take kids in and wait 3 years and be
Right.
like, I'm done.
Right.
So, you know, it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah.
And I can't judge. If they did it up to 18, they got her up, to what's in America, adulthood.
Right. 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 Right.
And unless I'm adopting some kids and bringing them in, and what I don't really have a leg to stand on to speak on that.
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
Just,
I understand.
I
I
mean,
get
it's
it.
not saying it's not.
I get
I
it.
don't. I don't like it. It is awful.
It
It
is.
is awful. That's what
It is.
Vanessa said.
It is.
Yeah, keep what's going on, man. Yeah, Vanessa said that's awful, and it is awful.
Yeah.
But that's a choice they made. Because what would she have been if they didn't adopt her? Would somebody else have adopted her?
And especially as a
Or
black
or
person, probably still in.
would she have right? Would she have stayed in that system?
Mm-hmm. Probably so.
And I don't know how it was with her adopted parents or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
but hopefully it was better than the system.
Right.
I hear the system's pretty rough. I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Shout out to the people who have gone through the system and, found your way, because it's some success stories out there. People have been adopted, have gone through the adoption, you know what I'm saying? Or what they call that, that they not necessarily adopt you, but foster. You've been through the foster system, and, you went from this house to that house, but you got made away and made something of yourself. Shout out to
man.
you.
I
All
tell
right.
my kids, and I would tell anybody, I tell my nieces, I tell my nephews, don't nobody care.
Yeah,
You
it's
got to get
unfortunate.
up and get out and get it yourself.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Don't, I mean, like, you got to figure out how to make your way in this world. You have a talent, you got a God given talent. You need to use that, to get to get to where you want to be a productive member of society.
Hmm.
But if I was to talk to the girl who was adopted or whatever, 18,
Hmm. Hmm.
I said, don't nobody care. I don't even with you doing the interview with the news or whatever she did like that. Don't nobody care.
You
Maybe,
just go
but
say
hey,
that.
maybe somebody might pick up and be like, hey, you know
Right.
what? We'll keep you for a
Right.
little while.
Right.
But if they don't, guess what? You got to get up off your tail.
I mean, at the end of the day, she's out there now. So now it is time for her to find her way. But I feel like if we don't prepare kids to, what I'm saying, be able to find their way by themselves, then how do what
Vanessa say
happens?
we all have a journey, and that's true right there. We all got a journey.
We do. But you got to, if your kids are not prepared to make it,
They
come
must not
on.
have prepared how to make it.
Right.
They
Because
must
she
not have
was
prepared her to
clueless.
make
Like
it.
she didn't know it was going to happen. And now she's in a shelter trying to figure it out. That's a
Man,
hard life. That's all I'm saying.
I say I have kids that I love dearly. They ain't even foster kids that I
Hmm.
love dearly.
Yeah.
And I'm here. Always tell them the older that you get, when you start to become an adult, you got to make it on your own. You got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and for some people say that as far as their own kids, like when they turn 18, they got to go.
Right. Right. A lot of times you say that about your own kids, but I guess this being a foster or an adopted kid for them, they was like, and we mean it, because clearly they went and dropped her off.
Man, at 18, a
So
lot of times before 18, these kids feel like they grown.
I mean, yeah, but there are those out there who you can just tell that they don't have a clue. They not ready.
And if they knew that she wasn't ready and they put her out, then that's on them.
Indeed.
That's between
Indeed. I
them
just
and
hope
God
I
right
hope
there.
the girl makes it. That's
I
all.
mean, I would
Okay.
say go pick her up since you
Well,
feel so
yeah,
dearly
anyway,
for her.
goodbye.
But we
Stop
already
it.
got a house full, so I'm so sorry.
Anyway, all right. So let's move on. So listen, wow, this is crazy. So this woman, um, she took up her kid's cell phone. Now, let me ask you this. When the kids are about 12, 13, 14, and what is it something that they can do that you feel like, give me this phone, and you take up their phone. So I'm keeping now, you got custody of their phones, cell phones. And we know how kids are about these phones, right? So now you as a parent, you got these phones. I'm keeping this phone until what is it something that you feel like they could do that would make you do that?
It's a whole lot of stuff.
Whole lot.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
anything. It's
Okay.
very, very small. For number
Okay.
one, that sends a message. These kids so attached to their
Yeah.
phone
Yeah.
that you're taking their world away once you take the phone
Yes.
away.
Yes.
So what can they do? It ain't gotta be nothing real bad.
Mm.
That's gonna be the first thing I'm going for is the phone.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
okay,
that's
go
that's
ahead.
that's the new punishment. That's the new go stand in the corner, right?
Pretty
Or
much.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
All
So
right.
anyway, these sisters, 12 and 14, mama took their cell phones, right? Punishment. Took their cell phones. They killed her.
They killed their mom.
Yeah.
I done heard stories like that before.
Yeah. So that's wow. But is that warranted? I mean, like, do you think it's that much? Is it that type of punishment to your kids that they feel like that's the answer?
Hey man. Uh I
Oh,
always
that's
talk
what Quincy. That's what Quincy just said.
yeah, he
Wow,
said right before right before he said
wow.
and shoot, man, for me, that's when you talk about the parents. You always talk about the parents putting the fear of God in their kids.
Mm, mm,
Some people say that's abuse for you
yeah,
to put that fear in your kid or whatever
right.
they get. But man, I don't know. I don't know because you gotta number one, you gotta be okay with killing. You gotta be okay with murder. You know, I don't, it definitely has to be in how you raise your kid because I don't know. I couldn't fathom that.
So maybe it's
That's extreme
my thing.
disrespect.
It,
You
it
can
is
talk back. You
okay.
can beat her up.
Uh huh.
You can steal it back,
Okay.
but you choose to kill them.
So maybe that is something they were influenced by on the phone. You know what I'm saying? You never know whatever it is
That's
that
some
kids are
mental.
watching.
That's some mental instability right there. What they watching?
what kids are watching on these phones. What's
What
look.
now? When you talk about that, see, that's the
Mm-hmm.
problem. We've talked about that earlier. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you let your phone raise your kid.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
If they got it from the phone,
Mm-hmm.
if this phone is overruling what you taught by your parents, then this phone raised your kid.
Hey, you think it's not happening?
It better not happen here.
Right, but I think it's something that's
It's
happening in
not
this
my
world
problem. I
today.
can't control all the
I
homes.
do, because at one point the TV was raising kids, right? Remember
Yeah,
how kids used
and
to
you
sit in
turn
front
the
of the
TV
TV?
off.
Uh huh.
I mean, somebody probably killed their mom over the TV. Now we didn't have internet back then, so we don't know.
We
That's
don't
the
even
only
know.
reason why now.
Right,
Because this right here, it probably is not even in Texas. Huh?
right.
But
No, it's not.
I'm sure somebody probably got killed,
Right,
over the TV. But we
right.
just got the internet now. It
Yeah.
ain't nothing. It ain't new.
Right, right.
Until you can't fathom, you don't remember pages. Mm.
What was the pagers couldn't do much. You couldn't say a whole lot on pagers.
But if you took it away, taking my world away. So that's how people got in touch with me. But I don't know. Kids didn't get pages. Grown folks pretty much got pages. I guess you got them when you was in high school, maybe 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
guess if your mama bought it, but most of us, pages was cheap. So as a kid,
Right.
even if my mama took my page, I can go get another one. Get another myself. It's like $20 down, $10 a month.
Right, 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 right. But but I feel like even that we had pagers back in the day or whatever, the stuff that they see on these phones today, we
But
couldn't see. All we got was numbers and the backwards, upside, whatever you had to turn it upside down and figure out what to say and all that.
Vanessa
That,
said
yeah,
our mom just had to give us a look. That's all
right,
that needed to go down.
right.
I think I said James Bell on here. I saw Clyde. What's going on with you? Mother-in-law, Miss Crane is on here. Sure, Ladybug Pro Gibbs, she's on here. That's where I got your cabinet from.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yes,
Okay, let me get on back in these comments though.
yes.
Quinn said the problem is kids don't have to earn minutes. That
Mm,
was the early cell phone
right,
days,
right, right.
I guess. But they earn for I think the kids nowadays they earn them Roblox. What are they? Roblox cards, right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
go and
yeah, yeah,
load
yeah,
these
yeah.
cards up for the games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that's same thing.
Hmm.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're doing bad, I ain't gonna load your Roblox card up. I
Mm.
saw somebody last night. They was getting up in the middle of the night, it was 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they was going to load their kids' Roblox card at
Wow.
Walgreens. I guess you could do it at Walgreens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey,
Yeah.
um, that's the minutes. That's
Right.
their minutes.
Right.
Tracy said everything starts at home and spreads abroad. What you laugh at today may be the same things you cry or die about tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, well, I put 304 in there, and
Now
everybody know
that
what
yeah.
304
Now
means.
that was the thing on the page, but that was about as heavy as you could get,
I
wasn't it?
mean, 304 was when you did not answer the 69. Uh,
Oh
you
gosh.
know what I'm saying? You ignore the 69. That's the next one you're gonna get is 304.
Wow. Wow. So yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, I think that
That's meant well. That's meant
parents need to talk to your kids before you just take their phones. I guess I don't know.
no,
No.
no. Raise your kids rather than your phone. Raise your kid. That kid, that's his world. That's the kid. Whoever these kids are, that was their world.
Right. But you know what? Guess what? Right now. So let's just say the family at the dinner table, everybody got a phone. What are we doing at the dinner table?
I don't know.
What are
What
they
looking at
doing?
their phone?
Everybody looking at their phone. So that is across the board, including the parents.
And
So you saying raise your kids? What? So in other words, everybody put their phone down, right?
the parents have already been raised. They are
Oh,
already adults.
oh. So
They already.
so do as I
Well, that's
say
me. Shit.
and not as I do at this dinner table. Just because I'm on my phone, don't mean y'all supposed to be on y'all.
Look here. That's how I raised mine.
But you're not even gonna look up at them to see what they got going on. And most of the time, do we even look at their phones?
I say I've been a do as I say, not as I do.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
I
Right,
earned
right, right, right.
I'm gonna tell any kid I earned the right to be an adult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for any mistakes that I make, I gotta take care of.
Right.
Like my kid is not gonna pay my bills. They're gonna post my bill. I gotta post my bill. I earn the right, to do what I want to do, right, wrong, and indifferent. The same way you have to earn the right to do what you're gonna do. If everything that you do is gonna cost me, including talking on that phone, you ain't earned the right to do nothing. You ain't earned the right to talk on this phone. I can talk on the phone all day at the dinner table if I want to. Guess what? I done pay for everything from the roof all the way down to the dinner table, down to the food on the table, down to the phone I'm talking on.
Oh gosh.
So that's how I am about that situation. Some people say it's that's abuse or that's mean or whatever the case. I try my best to lead by example. I do, but I ain't gonna sit here and tell my kid I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to raise you the best I can. Well, I ain't perfect, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not perfect. I would like for you to be better than me. I
Mhm.
did tell I do
Mhm.
because I told my kids that too many times. I want
Right.
you to be better than me.
Right. But see, this is what I'm saying. So if you as a parent, you always on your phone, are you paying attention to what your kids are looking at? Are you paying attention to
Apparently
what the
not.
kids are doing?
Apparently not. But
Right?
I spent a lot of time on my phone. Number one, first of all, I don't know. I didn't give out phones till late. We didn't. They didn't get phones. Kids got phones. What 15, 16?
Was that late?
It was
What,
maybe end
junior?
of middle school. Was it end of middle
I
school?
was gonna say, I think it was middle school. Yeah.
It's end of middle school, but in the sixth grade, that's when they got introduced to everybody having phones. No, I
Mhm.
was like, no, not yet.
Yeah.
I ain't ready
Yeah.
for that yet.
Yeah.
And you just have to regulate that. Same
Right.
thing goes with video games. I'm pretty sure somebody did some more some video games. What did I do with the video games here? Do you remember what happened with the video game here? I sold that motherfucker because it was taking up too much time.
Oh
They didn't
gosh.
want to get that. You know what I'm saying? When it take up too much of your life, we still don't have a video game here. They've learned to live without video games. You
That's
don't
right.
need that. You can learn to live without a cell phone. But
Right.
I know that video game was running. They wasn't getting their grades right. This was when what Trey was like a sophomore, or whatever the case, and the lyric was right
Right.
behind him freshman year.
Right.
But that game was taking up too much of their time. No, guess what? We're just going to the pawn shop.
Peace out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thank goodness they weren't raised by the same school that these kids
I
were.
refuse, and even with I got some little ones now, and went backwards up in this one. But we're not going to let electronics raise these kids. Because when you let electronics raise these kids, then yes, stealing and murder and all these things, that's when that stuff, that's when it's compromised.
Right. Right.
You supposed to be raising your kids. You have to, reinforce everything that you teaching them, and you can't let when you watching this YouTube, watch stuff like that. They can put you in a whole different reality.
Yeah. That's true.
And
That is true.
you have to keep a hold on that. You have to be in tune with that.
That's true. Listen, speaking of raising kids, let's transition here. Oh, go ahead and read those comments first.
CPS got kids having more rights than women in divorce court. The belt is missing in the bastards' lives environment. Quincy said the belt.
Oh my.
But let's say 3-year-olds have iPhones now. And that's true. Some of these kids, because a lot of them will get, a lot of people, parents will get their kids their old phone.
Right.
And so they can just connect by Wi-Fi and
Right.
get to
Or
their apps and all
tablets.
that stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got tablets here that these kids is on all the time. Roger said you have to explain to them that most of the things they see is not real. If they understand that, I think they might be all right. And that's true. I don't think that a lot of people explain to their kids that this stuff is not real, especially when you talk about um, hip hop culture. You talk
Mm-hmm.
about social media. You
Mm-hmm.
see, come on, man, we you got ops. You ride on your ops and all this other kind of stuff. And it's if you don't teach your kids that it's not real, yeah, you be
Right.
convinced that it's real.
Right.
And some of these kids want to emulate some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
of
You got to
course.
keep a close watch on these kids' social media accounts.
Right.
Keep a close watch on their stories, the things that disappear in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what be going
Yeah.
through their head, but you gotta keep a handle on that kind of stuff because it'll get out of hand.
Right.
It'll get way out of hand,
Right.
and these kids don't necessarily understand the consequences. All they see is the glitz and the glamour of being, whatever they're trying to be or
Yeah.
emulate.
Indeed. Indeed. So speaking of bad parenting, let me transition there. So there was a
Hold
woman
on,
in this.
time out. One more.
Mhm.
Tracy said we've gotten away from the mama saying you better know your schoolwork and then Bible verses like you know how to play those games and those songs. And I remember that stuff too.
Yeah. Right.
It's like if you know a whole rap song, you better know your multiplication table. You better know your ABCs. And some of these kids nowadays, they know the whole rap. I was looking at some kids singing that Tootsie song that's going on viral on TikTok right now. Little bitty kids, man. And I just wondered, and I'm not saying they dumb enough, but I do understand myself. It's like, okay, you know all your timetables all the way from 1 to 12.
Right.
You know.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Quinn said we're explaining too much shit. He
Oh
said, "Tis the
gosh.
season for unspared rod."
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Indeed.
oh,
Indeed. Indeed.
oh boy.
But you know what? Now, let me transition here to some bad parenting because we got some bad parenting out there. Sometimes it ain't always the kid's fault. We try to blame everything about the kids, the phones, this and that. But guess what? Sometimes these parents are way out of order. So there was a woman in Florida, had two kids, left the kids, got out the car, left the kids in the car. You know how we do. We're gonna run in. I'm gonna run in here, stay in here. I'll be right back. So now, mom, did you know your car was running hot? Because while you in the store doing whatever it is you're doing, your car has caught on fire and the kids are in the car. Can't get out.
Yeah, that's a messed up situation. Yvette Howard, what's going on with you? Christina Singletary, what's good with you? I need to come get a plate, man. We ain't got no food. You got some food over there? Say yeah or nay.
Hmm?
I got a little money. I DJ this weekend.
Oh,
What you got over
anyway, oh my goodness. Listen.
there?
So
Oh wow. I think Christina must know the situation. She said a girl went in there to steal.
yeah, okay. Yep.
That she was
Yep.
stealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's that's a bad situation all the way around right
Yes.
there.
Yes. She was way out of order and left the kids in the
I
car.
mean,
Well, the car
yeah,
is on
she out of
fire.
order. You leave the kids in the car. You're going in there to steal.
Yeah. I to me, I just think about these helpless kids that be left in cars, even when it's a car that is, that summertime heat, that summertime Texas heat, and parents leave their kids. I just think about that. Whenever I think about, kids being left in cars. Man, what are we doing,
Was
parents?
this in Texas?
No, that one was in Florida where the car caught on fire. That was in Florida. But I'm just saying that the fact that why do we do that? Why do we feel like it's okay to leave the kids in the car? At any point in time, the only kids that can be left in cars are teenagers. That's in my opinion. Not no little kids, kids that can't really communicate or don't know really how to open the door or that kind of thing. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
She said she got some pasta left over. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. I'm gonna holler at you about that though, for real. Said the atmosphere is set up bad. I think it's bad. Yeah, atmosphere is set up bad for some of these kids. Some of these kids are set up bad from the start. And shout out to people like Christina. Like I can't never remember. I think it's the house on the side of the road or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she got like a nonprofit going on.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So shout out to people like that who are, trying to help these kids who don't
Right.
necessarily know their way just yet.
Right. 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 Yes, indeed.
Man, that's some bad parenting and probably some bad parenting on the whoever her mama and daddy is. You know, I don't know if you just man, you got to teach your kids better. You got to teach your kids better because apparently this somebody's kid became a parent and thought they could leave their babies in a raggedy car and go and
Oh, the car
steal.
was stolen too. Hmm. Yeah. So at the end of the day, in a stolen car, and the car was running hot, so it caught on fire. Left two kids in there, so she can run in here and steal right quick. I'm just saying,
What did I say earlier? Take two bad
too bad
decisions.
decisions.
Well, she made two or three.
Yeah, but I mean, that's come on. The kids are paying for it though. That's awful. That's awful.
And that is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to do better. Did did she not? I don't know. Mm, um, Christina said she didn't. Oh yeah, no problem. She said I appreciate it. Ron said I was gonna say take them in and give them rules. Don't touch shit. Don't say shit. But I guess she never got those rules. But she was going in to
Right. She
touch
was
shit.
way out of order anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's going in there to steal. And then the car was stolen. I mean, like,
Yeah. That was
I'm gonna need you to
you
give
jump
the
in.
whole story next time. You give me the whole story. All this right there. I mean, Christina come in and tell us that the baby was stealing. You just told me that she left the kids in the car.
Well,
I'm
because
thinking
that
she's going in the car,
because
going to
I'm
buy something and come back out. Okay,
the fact that she went in the store, left the kids in the car, period,
that's just a whole lot
and
of
it's running.
badass decisions. I don't know what car she stole. I don't know if she took somebody's car that she knew or something, maybe without asking. You don't know because now that it's in the news, they gonna put all
Right. True.
they twist on it.
True. True.
So, but from what I'm understanding, yeah, it had to be somebody she knew. How the hell you gonna have kids? Who's stealing cars with kids?
Well, you know what? And maybe it was running because, like, what is that you do when you?
You hardwired,
Yeah.
nigga. This is not Dukes of Hazzard. This ain't the 18, nigga. We are in.
I mean,
Don't nobody, ain't nobody.
I was watching a movie. I think she used a screwdriver or something. So now, it's one start. Like you got to start it and keep going, and we're going to keep driving. It's going to stay on. I got to run the store right quick. I got to do everything while the car is
But they
started,
stole a
right?
raggedy car. Why would you steal a raggedy car?
Man, I don't know. best one she could find, I guess.
Say this generation is just weaker. This
Mm,
generation is weaker and wiser, like the old folks say. Though that's a bad combination. How you gonna be weaker and wiser?
right, right, right. Okay, so listen. Here recently trending was Pastor Ricky Rush from IBOC. Um, the allegations they're still trying to get some resolution to the allegations of him having violated some kids, people while they were kids. Something that started, I think he was a teacher at first, and then he groomed them to, and they started going to his church, and a whole situation, right, with Ricky Rush. Even one of the girls who became pregnant at some point, and she had her baby, and it was a son, and so Ricky Rush took the son under his wing, and then started abusing him. And so here recently, he's gotten, well, okay, which led him to some bad decisions. He ended up in prison, and so he recently got out of prison. Now he's out to try to tell his side of the story of what happened um with Ricky Rush. And I said that because here's the thing: people already don't want to go to church, and you go to church to find refuge, to some help or some good deeds or whatever, and this is what you get. Who can you trust?
Nobody. Hey man, just like everybody else.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the what's the Catholic dude? What's the what are they called?
The priest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can happen.
Right.
Foster homes,
Mm.
that can happen.
Yeah.
Boys and girls club,
Yeah.
that can happen.
Yeah.
Uncles,
Yeah.
that can happen.
Yeah.
So it's integrity across the board,
Right.
no matter who you are.
Right.
Um, yeah, preachers ain't supposed to do it. Priests ain't supposed to do it. Uncles ain't supposed to do it. Boys club, scout leaders ain't supposed to do it. Foster parents ain't supposed to do it.
I mean, I think nobody, right? But at the end of the day, you know what? Do you think that's why people don't go to church?
No,
Because they see a lot of worldly things.
no,
No. Okay. Okay.
no.
So
They
then,
don't. They don't go to church because they don't want to go to church.
oh,
That's
period.
just the reason that they use.
Okay. Okay.
When you don't want to do something, whenever you don't want to do something, you're gonna find a reason not to do it. When you want to do something, you're gonna
Yeah.
find a reason to do it.
Okay.
It
Okay.
ain't, don't say because of the pastors,
Not
because
that.
the pastor don't have nothing to do with the Bible. I mean, if you're going just to get some interpretation from the Bible,
Right.
you don't have to go where that pastor is. There's a whole lot of different churches out
Right.
there with a
True.
whole lot of different
True.
pastors.
True.
Now, some people can get tired and be like, look, man, I'm tired. I don't went to 10 churches, 10 of them was crooked. I'm tired. And
Yes.
you can you have every right to be like that.
Right. Right.
You have every right to give up, because if it's like that in your city, town, neighborhood, whatever, say, man, read the Bible at home.
Right.
But we're talking about people who they don't read the Bible at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? They
Right.
don't Bible study at home, stuff like
Right.
that.
And you know what? And people always say, I can do all that at home. I don't have to be at a church,
Mhm.
whatever. You're not going to. You're probably not going
Most
to.
are not going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most are not living that life. And once they figure out how to weasel their way out of the Sunday,
Right.
okay, boom, they free.
Right. Right. And so I guess my question is, so, is I think people can find so many reasons why they do not go to church. Then I wonder, can you find reasons to go?
Find reasons to go.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? What would make you say, you know what, this is the church because I like going to this church because what?
I think the reasons to go is extreme. You have to be in the desperation mode for a lot of people. You got
Oh,
to be at the bottom,
you hit the
or
bottom of the barrel.
yeah.
And
I mean, if
in
that's
the
for a
pit.
lot of people, if you was raised like that, and for me,
Mm-hmm.
if you was raised like that, that's what you lean on
Yeah.
when you don't have nothing.
Right. Right.
When you
Right.
have
Right. Right.
nothing else, it's like, that's what I was taught.
Right. Right.
And you go back to that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with leaning on that and using that in order to,
Get your
stack,
life back
in order
on
to get
top.
yourself
Yeah.
back together.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, and it might not be that. You might have found Allah. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
you might find yourself. You
Yeah.
know, you got the conscious community stuff like that. So it just depends. You know, it just depends on what you fall back on.
Right.
Some people might not necessarily fall back on religion, but
Right.
religion is
Right.
not it's not bad to the point where you can't fall back. There's a lot of people who have rebounded, you know, using religion,
Right.
and there's going to be a lot more people
Mm-hmm.
that's going to rebound using
Indeed.
religion. All it is a set of morals, it's a set of codes, it's a set of rules that you follow in order to make it.
Right. Let's read the comments. I see some people have some.
E. Ferguson said, at the end of the day, you have to let man be man, let God be God. Oftentimes, people turn man into God, and that's true.
Yeah.
That's true,
Yeah.
and that's you know that goes both ways because the man, the preacher, the pastor, sometimes feel like they God. That's why they think they can get away with certain things.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and that's when I feel like they feel like they're God of some type.
Right.
So it goes both ways. And when we treat them like God and put them on a pedestal like they can do no wrong, well, that's when they feel like they can get away with some wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it goes both ways. Man is man, just like everybody else.
Right. Because I mean, oftentimes we, a lot of people have put the pastor into, a God place. And then when something happens, when they fall, then it's like, oh my God, how did you do that? You are, you know,
That's why your relationship has to be it has to be with you and God. Your relationship with God has to be more intimate than your relationship with your pastor.
100% I agree. But you know what? I think that if you really think of your human side, think about you still gonna feel some kind of way about that. You know what I'm saying? Just being human, that's gonna bother you big time.
Hopefully, when you get older and you mature, you understand that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I had a situation with a pastor that I felt like wasn't all the way together, and it
Right.
hurt me
Right.
because I was all the way in,
Right.
and it turned out real nasty to where you know I was blamed for stuff.
Right. Just ugly, ugly.
It just
Yeah.
got really, really ugly, and I could have at that time I had every right to walk away from church. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my relationship was with God.
Right.
It was not, my relationship with God was stronger than my relationship with that man.
Right.
And the relationship with that man was pretty strong. I was like a deacon,
Right.
opening up the church
Right.
type situation.
Right. Had the key.
But my relationship was stronger with God than it was with that man. And that's what you have to have a relationship to where you don't have to worry about a dude being a middleman.
Right.
You gotta be able to go, straight to the creator.
Right.
And
Right.
I feel
Right.
like if you have that, then you will continue to thirst for the knowledge and the guidance from God
Mm-hmm.
rather than the guidance and the knowledge from that man, which that man is just getting from God anyway. So like I said, we just
Right.
cutting out the middleman.
Right. Right. Right.
Quincy said, come on now, some folks don't go to church because more lies can be found within the four walls in prison, and they probably can. Everything down here is earthly.
Yeah.
Church is earthly, pastors earthly, all this is earthly. That's why you got to have your connection with the creator, whether you use religion or not. You got to have your connection,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you
Mm-hmm.
have that connection, then you stand a better chance. Once you put a man in the middle, once you put somebody who's fallible in the middle,
Right.
then you put yourself in the hands of that person that's in the middle. When they fall, you fall.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So you just gotta, man, you gotta have that divine connection, which whatever it might be. I don't judge. If it's Allah, then it be Allah. If it's whatever you might use,
Yeah.
but you gotta have that direct divine connection.
Right.
Once you got that, it don't matter what these cats down here are doing. All this is the world. The church is where the church is not heaven,
Yeah.
so it's not perfect.
Right.
So when you talk about finding more lies in prison, church and prison is the same thing. It's all down here. It's all earthly. It's all subject to sin.
Right. Right. I you know I think I feel like I would want to have a talk with Quincy. I feel like was there some church hurt there because there's a big like disdain for the church, and I'm just wondering what is behind
His
that.
daddy was a preacher.
Oh, okay, okay. Daddy was a preacher. Okay, and what happened?
I mean, I'm pretty sure some church hurt in that situation.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think that he's a preacher anymore.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if he's totally against the church,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think he's going.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so and when you have a situation like that, then then you birth a Quincy,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees the situation,
Right.
and I
From kind of
mean,
from the inside of whatever was
right,
going
and
on.
he's
Yeah.
well versed.
Yeah.
He's well versed. But I always say in the Bible, it can be used as two things. It's just like it can be a tool or it can be a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So just depending on how you use Quincy, just choose to use it a different way. That's the way
Right.
I see it. He
Right.
just choose to use it a different way.
Right.
I have a cousin who's a preacher's kid who that is a bishop right now.
Right.
And he chose to stay away from that. And I'm almost positive because he saw things that his dad, and I'm not saying his dad is a bad
Right.
person, nothing like
Right.
that. I'm
Right.
saying he wasn't perfect.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah. I do think that PKs sometimes see the human side of their appearance, and that almost works against them sometimes. I think you actually have to grow up into it and then get have that maturity level to kind of sift it out, right?
man, when let's say cussing, because some of the preachers are some of the biggest
Yeah.
cussers. And you see your daddy at home cussing, and you
Right.
go to church and you
Right.
condemn cussing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's those are the things you see, and it's kind of hard that way because he ain't just your pastor, he your daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Is April Spring on here? Did we see her? Because she's a PK as well. And
See my tax lady on here, Vanita Devereaux is on here, Kinfolk Tracy Paul is on here.
okay. I was just
So
wondering if April Spring was here because she's a PK, and I know that. I mean, I know she's still in. She was a PK, and now her brother's the pastor, and so I know there was a lot of things, but um, I'm just saying I know how that goes with these preachers' families and that type of thing.
Glenn McGee said we are the real Israelites. Christianity became a business. It's tampered with white supremacy. So basically, Christianity is, and I do feel that. I feel like Christianity is, man, severely tainted by white supremacy. I do feel like that. It's, come on, that's books taken out of the Bible,
I
stuff like
mean,
that.
hey, and they definitely went in and changed some of the verses to mean or say what they wanted it to
Yeah.
say. So because when we as slaves, then they wanted us to read, the part that made it seem like, oh, that you're supposed to take care of your master kind of thing. So they wanted it to, work for them. But you have to take the part that pertains to. But anyway, I'm not here to convert anybody or whatever, because whatever you are, that's what you are. But
I
uh,
I I support or I believe or understand or I don't know how to say it, but as far as the Hebrew Israelite culture, I have been looking at that for the last few years, and a lot of their beliefs, man, yeah, I'm on board with. I'm on board with that, and it's kind of in line with Christianity. It's kind of is, kind of not,
mhm,
but
mhm.
yeah, I do understand. Christianity is a business in America. It's definitely, he said, it became a business. Christianity became a business in America, and yeah,
Mhm.
I believe, yeah, white supremacy got a lot to do with how we receive religion. So
Yeah.
I'm with you, Clyde, on that one.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm I'm totally with you on that one.
Right.
But when you talk about the Hebrew Israelite culture, boy, America does not like Hebrew Israelites. They
Right.
feel like they're racist. But it's the same thing they did with Muslim. When they was Malcolm X, when they were coming up, they said that they were racist. They were hate groups, and they're
Mhm.
doing the same thing with Hebrew Israelites. And it's just what it is. It's a growing group of black folks,
Right. Right.
and it's just got them afraid because really what they're doing is using the same feelings that we're using towards us for 400 years.
Right.
We use the same. We don't trust y'all.
Right. Well, you know what? Who are the people that control the entertainment business?
That's Jewish.
Okay. So
That's Jew. That's Israelites. They
yeah. And they
and
hate to hear anything about
oh
when they
yeah,
say that we are the original Jews and that kind of
yeah.
thing.
They're gonna cut you off. They're gonna
Yeah.
take y'all. They're liable to cut us off right
Uh
now. Is the
oh.
right person
Hey,
to hear
y'all,
about it.
listen. If we get cut off for
Clammy
saying
said
these
yes.
words,
why I say, yeah, we waking up. You say anytime you
Ooh.
point out white supremacy, you got to be labeled racist. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, if they
yeah.
flag this video, we're gonna start a YouTube channel. So just FYI. So anyway.
We're gonna have to start it on our own. We'll have to come from our own YouTube. Sure, that's owned by
Oh,
the
that's them too,
entertainment
huh?
industry, man. We can't
Every
get away
aspect.
from. You have to get. You have to get your own website. You probably gonna have to do.
Oh
You gonna have to
gosh.
start your own server.
Oh my gosh. Well, be looking out for emails. 'Cause
Yeah,
man.
Dave Chappelle said, "Don't say it." I mean, they run the entertainment
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
Period. I mean, it's a lot to that. It's a whole
Right,
lot to that. It's a
right.
whole lot to unpack. We done already used up the hour, and we be doing
Yes.
another hour
I
just
gotta
to
go.
hit the tip of the iceberg. Oh wow,
I'm
just
sorry.
gone. That's TMI like a
I'm
mug.
sorry, yes.
Well, y'all, we got to go. We'll catch y'all on next Monday. Same jazz. What is that? Same
Same jazz
jazz time.
time.
Same jazz channel.
All
All
right.
right.
All right, y'all. Be